All right, welcome back to another episode of In the Green Bets. Justin and Grant here, coming off a week of close calls. I said I had a really good feeling about the week, and I had a whole bunch of guys kind of in the hunt, but not really in the hunt. Neiman was a third going into the final round. Decky made a run, ended up finishing third. Hit Smotherman, hit Mito, should have hit Neiman top 20, but somehow he choked his way out of it. It was a good week for me. Matchups didn't go great. I had Scheffler over JT, which was ballsy. Scheffler came close, but happy with the week on a, birdie fest are typically pretty hard to predict. So anytime you win money doing that, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, I had Neiman and Spieth going into Sunday, just terrible. Spieth somehow can't putt still. Not sure if I should take that in consideration this week. Neiman missed a 4-footer to birdie on the last hole on 18 to get us the top 20, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's terrible.
But the one good thing is, I won an Alex Norton bet, which should have been like, hey, you're going to do bad this week if you won an Alex Norton bet. And then margins are still winning, so that's good. But I'm excited. I did lose a little bit, but I was in a good spot coming into Sunday, and that's about all you can ask for.
Yeah. Especially in an event like that where 26 under wins, it's just kind of a crapshoot. But either way, on to the PGA Championship, second major of the year. It's going to be fun. I think this course will be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be hard, not like over par hard, but like 8, 9, 10 under maybe wins if depending on weather. It does look like it's going to be windy. There may be some wave BS. Like we talked about the players, it's so hard to predict that. Like you may try to predict it one way and then it ends up the opposite. I think right now early, late looks better because the wind's supposed to pick up Thursday afternoon into Friday morning. I don't know. I'm not even going to look at that when I make my picks. I'm just going to pick the guys I think are best suited to play this course well and who have best form and that type of stuff. I'm not going to look at the waves, but weather's probably going to play a factor. Oklahoma is windy. That's one of the defenses of the course for sure.
Yeah, I think that with the length of the course, you're going to play a lot of guys who are just superior ball strikers anyway. So I think that'll help against kind of playing going against the wind. I probably won't have many guys on the card, if any, where I'm like, hey, if it's windy, they're absolutely screwed. Obviously, if you get hit with waves and some people do and some people don't, that's different. But if it's windy for everyone, I'm going to be pretty comfortable with the names that I have on my sheet. So I'm not really going to play too much into it, but I think it's going to be great because it's going to be like kind of gettable with how you can bomb it, but it's also going to be hard and like test guys short game at the same time, right? It's like kind of a good mix of skills we're going to see. So I think we'll have some close scores, coming down at the end. Hopefully it doesn't go into playoff, but I think it'll be close, which will be nice.
Yeah. So Southern Hills in Oklahoma, 2007 PGA, 2001 U.S. Open. I'm throwing those straight out the window because the course has been completely redone since then. Now there's a creek that runs through most of the course that'll probably it's going to play into a bunch of tee shots, like decisions as you go over the creek. How close? Because I heard a quote this week from Gil Hance, who did the renovation. He's like, a lot of the best angles into these greens are closer to the creek. Creek's running up the left, hole set right, so you want to be as far left as you can to get the angle. So they're small, so the real accurate guys, they'll be able to put it in the right spots in the fairway. So while the bombers I think are in play in terms of it's pretty generous fairways. They took out a bunch of trees. The rough is not going to be that penalizing, so I think you will see a skew towards longer hitters, but I think those guys are still going to have to ball strike the piss out of it with their irons. And in my opinion, chipping and pitching is going to be a huge deal. The greens are small. You're going to be hitting long irons, and they're going to firm them bitches out. They're going to be hard. It's going to be hard to hold greens. Slopey like Augusta, so you get in the wrong spot, 3-putt is a definite possibility. You get in the wrong spot, you're going to be off the green. It's kind of, just kind of the way it is. And the green sides are not just like flat chunk of ball out of the rough, roll it on. They drop off. They're slick, super tight lies. It's going to test some guys. You're going to see some stubby ones. You're going to see some skulls. You're going to see balls not go in the right spots. Tons of bunkers too. So your bunker game's going to have to be at least passable. I think that it sets up for the elite guys, in my opinion. I don't know that we'll see a lot of wild cards. You'll probably see a couple because somebody will get like super hot one day or two, but I think it's going to be the elite guys who can really, have like their standard distance off the tee, but like really, really take advantage of good iron play and getting up and down.
Yeah, I don't necessarily – we both agree you don't necessarily have to be a bomber, but you can't be a bunter. If you're a bunter, you're going to play off the green too much this weekend. Like the greens being so short, you're going to have so many – or not so short, but the greens being so small – and you hitting so much longer yardages than those other guys, I just don't really see a remedy for it. So I think that kind of plays into, you kind of saying how it kind of fits some elite guys because they can hit it really far and they're really talented around the greens. Yeah. A lot of them are, not all of them, but a lot of them are. They're very creative, right? They can hit, to really, really specific distances, when you get to like 60, 61, 42, right? Like it's all kind of stuff like that.
Distance control is going to be a humongous thing.
So I think that's the kind of profile we're going to see. Obviously, there's a lot of guys on tour, and the field is loaded. So there's going to be a lot of guys who can do that. But at the same time, you're going to have to hit down there, or else you're going to be screwed.
Yeah, I didn't go very deep with my outright picks this week, and I think you'd be silly too. I started digging in today, so everybody's heard this many times, I'm sure. Like 39 of the last 40 major winners have been ranked in the top 50 in the world. And the other one was Phil last year. So you start with 50 guys who in theory can win. There's like 5 who aren't here because of injury or whatnot. You take out there's like 5 or 6 other guys who just aren't going to win. Then there's 10 more guys who are playing like horrible. Like Webb is one of those guys. He's in the top 50 playing terrible. Cam Tringali, not interested. Bryson, Harold Varner. You can pare it down to like 20. And then you start looking at, all right, he's not ranked in the top 50.
I know. I said you have to add him into the mix because he's the one who could do it if he's outside the 50.
Yeah. So and we'll talk. I think we'll talk about Tiger for a couple minutes later on because I have some interesting thoughts. But you can pare the list down quickly, and obviously the odds are going to be bad there. But I think this week is the week you take 3 or 4 guys under 30, and you just say, I may be not covering the board real heavy, but I got guys who I know can win. So,
right.
Let's take a look at the leaderboard real quick, or the odds board, and see, because prices have moved, and particularly one guy that I bet has moved against, like he's moved to where I should have waited to bet it. So,
Colin.
Well, so all right, I'll just start. JT was my first click. He fits every single thing I'm looking for. Hits it plenty far off the tee. He's obviously one of the best iron players in the world. And he has elite short game. He's one of the best wedge players, in the last 20 years. And with the bent greens being a little bit easier to putt, I think he has that gives him a good chance to get like super hot. And I don't even know that he'll need to get like super hot. If it's 8-9 under wins, he just has to, putt decent. He just needs to putt pretty good. Have 2 days of good putting, basically, and 2 not terrible days. I absolutely love him. I bet him at 17. Now he's 18, and I haven't not looked at the other books to see where he's at. Still 14 at Rivers, 16. So I mean it's not terrible, but he just checks all the boxes, and he popped number 1 in my model by a pretty healthy margin.
Yeah, I love him. I talk myself into him pretty much every time we get into these big events. The issue is that we've seen a trend that he's not coming through outside of the players last year, where he kind of gets in contention and something happens, and now all of a sudden he's 4 shots back, and it doesn't even seem like he's like really considering that he's going to even win, right? He's just kind of trying to get through the round. So, but he's so good that shouldn't matter, right? Because he obviously can win this tournament. He can win any tournament that he steps onto. His form is unbelievable. He just hasn't been able to come through. I don't hate it at all. I would love it at 20, but 18 will probably get me interested also.
Yeah. So before you decide where you're going, I don't think either of us are on Scheffler or Rory
No.
or Rahm because they're all 14 or less.
Why is Rory at 12? That got moved down?
Uh, he's been playing very good, and I think there's some rumors swirling about his enjoyment of the golf course. Yeah, some numbers have moved around, but for me, I do think Scheffler could definitely win. I think he should be the favorite. I'm not. I think he should be the favorite, and then it should be Rahm and JT in my personal opinion. But I see the Rory. I will not be betting Spieth. I think this course sets up really well for him. If they would have put him in the 20s, I would have considered it. But at 14, 15, 16, wherever he's at, I won't be betting him.
See, we
18
differ.
here.
We differ a little bit there because I kind of think Spieth should be up there more. I think he should, if anything, be in the Rory spot. I don't. I mean, he's Jordan Spieth, and look how he's playing. I get that his putter's bad, but I mean,
yeah, no, I agree. Well, I mean, he's priced 14th. I mean, 14 to 1. I mean, that's
right.
terrible.
Yeah, that's really bad. But yeah, maybe he's in the right spot.
Well, so of the guys under 20, are you betting anybody under 20?
No one, and maybe Justin Thomas.
All right. So Spieth.
But I don't think I'm going to do it because I have a 20 guy instead.
Spieth at 18, you're out on?
I'm out on that.
All right.
Because I'm going to bet against.
All right, so who are you starting the card with?
Colin Morikawa at 20.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where Colin over 20 in a major is like auto bet, and I think you can get him better than 20. I think he's 22 somewhere. No, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. So I thought about it. What's your Colin thing?
He doesn't hit it far, but he doesn't hit it short, and he hits it straight, which I really like. Not that you have to do it here, but I just like him just having really good lies as he's going into these small greens.
Definitely. If that dude gets a bunch of good fairway shots with his irons.
Right. And if it becomes like hey, I'm putting and all you guys are chipping, then he's going to have a huge advantage. I don't give a shit about the putter, right? Because he'll be putting and everybody else will be chipping. So obviously there's guys that can ball strike with him up here on this list. These guys are all elite. But when it comes to just iron play, hit these small target areas, who's better than Colin Morikawa?
Yeah, that's the argument, and it's a damn good one. He's two-time major champ already. Yeah. That's another good fucking argument. But I worry about his chipping and putting, but if he just hits 80% of his greens, it's like, well, who gives a shit? Like, right. He's probably going to do good enough around the greens that's not going to kill him. And I think he's getting better around the greens. I don't think he's quite like Vic Hovland or somebody like that, but he was like, I super heavy considered him, but JT was just, he stood out so much for me.
But what if he hits 20% more than everyone else, right? Like he'll have some chips and putts. Right, but what if he has, less chips and putts than everybody else? That's all I'm looking for. I'm not looking for perfection. We're just looking for a guy that when the pressure comes down to it, I'm putting and you're playing off the fringe, or you're playing off a ball that's sloped 30 feet to the, to down off the edge. Like I think that's just, if things get hard and things start to be like, hey, we got to get it in these certain little areas, I trust Colin more than I trust about anybody on that board.
Yep, without a doubt. I mean, he could easily win. It wouldn't shock me at all. Right. The fact that he's shorter makes me a little bit nervous, but he also is going to give himself, like, he hits so many fairways. He's going to give himself good angles. He can take on a little bit more of risk off the tee in terms of being like, hey, like left side of this fairway, way better than right. So he can hit it on the left side of the fairway when he needs to. So no, I super considered him. He was right there. It was him or JT, and I kind of considered Spieth also, but JT just stood out so much for me and I think JT's due. Like he's way too talented to only have one major at this point. And he's playing good. He's coming, definitely due. So my next pick, I have 3 in this range. So I'll briefly touch on. I bet Cantlay at 28 like 3 months ago. when he was going nuts and finishing top 5 every week, I went checked all of his future odds, and I have him at 28, which is a good number, and he's coming off a second and then a first at Zurich. So I'm not disappointed in it. Now, would he have made the card at 22 or 24, wherever he's at now? Probably not. But at 28, I'm happy with that future for sure. And then I have Decky and I have Cam Smith. I've got Decky at 25. No, I got Cam Smith at 25 and Decky at 32. The Decky number is fantastic. 32 is great. He's basically been ball striking better than like when he's showed up, he has hit the piss out of it ball striking when he's been healthy. And he's already won twice on tour this year. To me, on course that maybe the putting isn't such a big deal. His chipping is awesome. His ball striking is crazy. He hits it far. I just think that he's more talented than he's getting credit at 32.
Yeah, I like Decky a lot. I would love to bet Cameron Smith. I actually picked him for this one and done thing that I was in. And I just can't get around on the 22, but I do like him a lot. I like Decky just as much as you this week. What's that say right there? 24?
Yeah. And then he's 22 here. But so, yeah. I mean, his ball striking is just elite, tee to green. And then Cam Smith for me, the driver makes me nervous. But he's been so good, and he has like elite short game. He's come so close to winning a couple majors now. It's like I at 25, I don't love the number just based on his, he doesn't have a ton of major experience, but man, if this becomes a chipping and putting contest, that dude is as good as anybody. So
yeah, and
his irons have been excellent.
I like the fact that this isn't like a high rough US Open style. This is like you can't spray it, but you can kind of like miss some fairways here and there and be fine.
Because his short game's good enough too, he can make up for it.
Right. He'll be fine doing that. His ball striking is elite. And just think, if you think Cam Smith will win a major, right? Why wouldn't it be this one? Look how he's playing. Look at the setup. Look at everything falling into place. This has got the makings for a Cam Smith win. Will it happen? I don't know. But this is about as good as a opportunity as he's going to give himself to win a major this weekend.
Yeah, I still think he's an Augusta guy for forever. He'll be good there every year, but his play's been just super,
right? Doesn't this have a little Augusta?
Yeah, slopey greens, super important short game stuff. Kind of can spray it off the tee. Plays a little long, definitely. So that was where I have JT, and then I have the Cantlay future at 28. Smith at 25 and Decky at 32, and that's basically the heart of my card, outright wise. Mm-hmm. This Lowry number here is enticing to me, but I'd rather have Decky at 32 than Lowry at 35 for sure.
Brooks is now 55.
Well, that sucks because I bet him at 45 yesterday. Is that because he locked himself out of his card today? Did you see that? I don't know,
but I saw his interview too, him talking about the odds, and he's like, I kind of like it. I'm going to bet 55 for sure.
All right. So anybody in like this 28 to 60 range here that's on the screen that you're going to bet? Besides, we can have the Brooks conversation after. There's obviously a few.
Lowry at 35, is that too low or no?
I would say yes, but he's been playing so damn good that I considered him, but that's just not a number that I want to bet Shane Lowry at. If I'd rather take DJ at 35, honestly. I know DJ's playing worse than Shane Lowry, but I mean, DJ's DJ.
Yeah, I'm not going to get on the DJ train this week.
I'm not either because I keep hopping on, I keep looking at him and being like, oh, he's at 28-1 in a shit field. I'm going to take him. It's like, wow. Doesn't work out that good. So
I could be talked into skipping this and then adding JT and having a JT Colin Brooks.
So here's my Brooks thing, and I bet him at 45 already. I may even go double dip back in at 55. If I will bet Brooks Koepka at 40-1 or worse until I am out of money in major championships. I will literally run myself dry. That dude, it's way different. You cannot look at his regular tour events, his form, any of that bullshit when it comes to major championships. He's so tactical. He's so smart. He just will take what's there. he doesn't get in his own way. He just hits the fairway, hits the green, and he chips and putts it good. Like,
Right.
and his like mental ability to get in a zone and just like know, like, hey, look, I got in trouble. I'm gonna hit it here and just get out of trouble real fast. He doesn't play defense, but he's not like playing offense. Like
Right.
Rory tries to play offense all the time, and sometimes it hurts him. Brooks will just like take his medicine and move the fuck on, and all of a sudden he'll be like, well, Brooks shot 3 under each of the first 2 days, and he's in 4th. And it's like, well, that's what he does. So 55 is a stupid number. I don't care how bad he's played or how little he's played. It's Brooks Koepka. I'm wearing the PGA Championship shirt from Bell Reeve that he won.
Oh, Brooks, yeah. I agree. I'm with you. 55 is crazy. I mean, come on, Brooks. Like,
look at the guys ahead of it. Billy Horschel has 1 top 10 in his career at major championships. He's like 1 for 30. Brooks has 4 fucking majors, and he could have like 7. He has like 4 other top 5s.
The Shane Lowry number's not great. His chipping or his around the green numbers for some reason are not great. But he's like 5th in my model still. Like, he's just playing really good. So good. And I think I'm going to add that at 35. Just based on it, he's another guy that it just seems like, I mean, look at that. Yes. Are you kidding me?
Get the fuck out of me. You think he was in good form every time he showed up to the PGA? No. Every time, all those? No. So
he got 3rd at the Masters. He's fine. He's playing unbelievable. He should have had a win by now, honestly. We talked about that on the show.
Lowry he choked a couple times.
Right.
What was that, Honda?
Yeah, maybe it all comes around and he just wins the major, right? And then that's kind of what how this whole thing happens. That would be great. I think the setup's going to be good for someone like him, and I think I'll pair him with Brooks. I'll act as if Brooks is a 45, bet the 55, and then it'll sit a little better with me with the Lowry number.
Yeah. So a couple of the guys I want to mention. Cam Young, I bet at 80. Everybody and their brother is on him now, and so I will obviously I already bet it, but I'll probably stay away from him. Otherwise, I think that he could win. He's super, super talented, and he's one of those guys I think could kind of come out of nowhere. I think the way he plays sets up well for here. He's just he hits it super fucking far. He's number 1 in proximity over the last 24 rounds, so he's hitting it close, and he's hitting shorter clubs than everybody else. He chips and putts pretty damn good. I think he's a person who could win a major. I'm not sure he's like talented enough to win a bunch of majors, but he's got the game to win a major. So, to me, he's kind of like Sam Burns. He's just like really, really talented, but doesn't always show up. Hits it super far when he's good with his irons, and his putting and chipping is kind of good, but not great. I thought about Burns at 50, but Sam Burns is like a perennial choke artist until he like almost wins a major. I'm going to be not betting him. And that Horschel number is just the stupidest number on this whole board.
Yeah, I think I would kind of go towards Neiman, and then I'm not really
Neiman. I was going to say Neiman is the other guy that I would bet here. Potentially, if I was going to do that. Berger at 60 is interesting.
The Neiman thing, you have to just act as if his Sunday wasn't last Sunday, right? Act as if it was a month Sunday ago. I don't know, but you just can't, don't think about what happened. Just think about how good he's been playing. Think about how good his ball striking is, and think about, how the setup, feeds, kind of demands a guy like him, although, he can have some short game issues. But 55 is not a bad number. And when you get down here, you got to be a little careful because not many of these guys are winning.
I'm not betting anybody from this range. If you've told me I had to, Berger at 60, Oosthuizen at 80, and Adam Scott at 100.
Yeah,
I'm not betting any of them.
No, Noren would be one, just because he's playing so well. Yeah, not really. These guys would be more interested in like.
There's some nice top 20 guys in here for sure.
Right.
Definitely some guys I like for top 30s and 20s in here, but none of these guys are winning. So
no. That's more of a 20. Yeah, that's a different conversation, I think.
Yeah. All right. So I'm probably going to bet a couple top 10s this week. Namely Scott Scheffler. Going to bet him top 10.
Really?
And yeah, really.
He's pretty
And
good.
I'll probably bet Decky top 10. Decky's number is pretty nice for a top 10.
Yeah, he's 275 here on DraftKings. Cam Smith is also 275. I like that. I'd be pretty selective though on these. I'm not going to go past maybe one or two.
Nope. Yep. Those are the two that I've. Scheffler, you cannot deny his form. He's amazing. The score sets up great. Decky, his form, his ball striking. I love Decky this week. So, those would be the two. But as far as top 20s,
yeah,
because the field is so good, you get some nice prices. So, like we just mentioned,
Cam Young.
Berger was 60. Well, he's priced down. He's down under some of these guys that are priced below him in the outright market. But Neiman plus 170. He might break your heart, but the course is really, really good fit. Corey Connors.
We did that last week.
Corey Connors is kind of in the he's probably not going to win, but goddamn, is he a good fit for this course? Hatton, Adam Scott, Cam Young, Homa. Those would be the other guys that I'm looking at for top 20s. Then there's some guys down here that I'm looking at for some top 30s that I like a lot.
Yeah,
anybody that I didn't mention that you like?
Well, I started with Cam Young at the top there, 275. I liked that. A lot of guys you mentioned that we both like. What about Keegan Bradley at 240? Is that number not good enough?
He's 320 on FanDuel.
Okay, so yeah, more like that. And then Noren's 4-1, but I think he'd be more of a 30 for me.
He's a 30 guy for me. I think that there are a bunch of guys in that next range that I really like for 30. So let's look at some 30s because I think 20s are not obvious, but there's some guys we've already talked about.
Where are you looking at? I'm going to pull up Rivers.
I got FanDuel open. So top 30s. Let's see here. Bobby Mack at plus 210. He always kind of shows up in majors. He's super, super good. He bombs it. I kind of like him, and that number is decent. I don't know why I'm gonna say this, but Patrick Reed at 270. If it gets windy and nasty in his chipping and putting contest, like that dude can chip and putt with fucking anybody. But I don't know that I'll bet him. Hatton plus 280 on FanDuel for a top 30. That seems really wrong. I have no idea why he's priced down there. I don't even know if that'll let me bet that. That's way wrong, right?
Yeah.
Hatton at 280 for a top 30. I'm gonna bet that if it'll let me.
Noren's 225. If you believe in Aaron Wise,
I like Noren. He's playing really good.
Yeah, Wise is 225. If you believe that his ball striking can pull him through. How has Aaron Wise performed in majors?
I doubt he's played in too many, but
he's in my top 5. He's in like 6th in my model.
Louis is also plus 280 for a top 30.
Aaron Wise made the cut at the Masters when he played it. He played in 3 PGAs and made the cut twice, one with the top 20. That was last year. He got top 20 last year.
Aaron Wise hits it far. That's one thing that I definitely like. My model too, pretty sure. 15th in my model. His putting makes me obviously he is one of the like streakiest putters in like the worst way kind of thing. Like he never really streaks good, but he definitely streaks bad.
Yeah.
But
I don't mind 225. Him and Noren right there next to each other. I don't mind either of those guys.
I'd rather have so I don't know what's going on with FanDuel, but I'm about to bet Hatton and Louis at 280 for a top 30. I don't really like. Okay, so a few other guys to mention here. Bezadenhout, I like him a lot. If this is like a approach and chip putting thing, love him.
Yeah.
Munoz, kind of hard to deny how good he's playing at plus 260. I don't know what he is over there, but plus 260.
What if I do it for the third straight week? Keith Mitchell, 3-1.
No, thanks. No, thank you. You get down here a little bit farther. Kevin Na, I have no idea how his form is, but like his major form is not good. It's the problem. Like he makes sense, but his major form is bad. for some top 40s, but there's a lot of guys in this field. Kuchar, he's been playing very, very good, and his irons and in game has been good. Kisner, do you think Kisner hits it too short?
Yes.
What if it's rolling out a bunch?
I don't think he's not elite iron enough to be I hit short and hit all the greens.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Luke List?
I think guys who can really hit it far are going to have an advantage. Not really hit it far.
I don't think it's going to matter that. I don't think it's going to matter that much. I think it's going to matter, but you can't fuck up in the creeks. There's creeks everywhere, and the courses there's enough dog legs and shit like that you can't just bomb away every hole. But it definitely is an advantage. But I don't know that it's not like U.S. Open where the rough's long and it's just get it fucking close as you can, and who cares if you're in the fairway or the rough. But
I just think you almost have there's almost like a threshold. There's almost like a bar. It chops the field in half if you go by driving distance, and it's just hey, these guys are gonna have chances, and these guys aren't. And I think that if you're above that line, you don't have any more or less chance than anybody else above that line. You just put yourself in winning category. That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah. Yep. We start getting down here, and it gets pretty rough, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah. Don't go too far. Let's look at some matchups.
Okay, so I pulled up DraftKings, and there's a couple matchups that I like a lot. First one, Seabez plus 125 over Ryan Palmer. Ryan Palmer's going to hit it 30 by Seabez, but Seabez is so much better from 150 in, it's not even funny. So,
and Ryan Palmer's
I don't know why.
Post-Texas boost where he just played well because he's in Texas for 1 week.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Plus 125 is the wrong number. So I like that quite a bit. Let me find this other one. Oh, this might be like a 3-unit bet. Berger as an underdog to Horschel. Horschel's he never plays good at majors. He doesn't. In this course, I get that maybe he can chip and putt good enough, but that dude doesn't have the mental fortitude to play on a hard golf course.
I kind of like the one right above that, Kokrak 125 over Homa.
I thought about that too because Max has been so bad at majors. It's
yeah, I get he's playing well, but it's gonna be juiced that day. Kokrak won 3 times within the last 2 years.
Yeah, he's good. His form's not very good, though, I don't think.
No, he just played well a couple weeks ago, though, I think.
Yep, I think you're right.
Yeah, he got 17th at Byron Nelson. He got 14th at the Masters. He made the cut at RBC. Playing all right. Playing just fine.
Yeah. No, I don't mind that. This is stupid, but Scheffler over Rahm, they're even money. I just can't. I think Scheffler is the best player in the world right now. I don't know that it's really that close. And the course,
you might have to wait till Sunday to decide that matchup.
Yeah, that's when you're gonna be sweating your ass off probably. But Rahm and putting has been horrific.
Yeah,
he's where is he? And around the green's not a perfect stat. I get it, but it does capture some stuff. He's in the hundreds. Rahm.
Yeah, 131 last 24.
Yeah, that's terrible.
He won his last.
Maybe that'll make the card. Maybe it won't, but it's something I'm definitely considering. Let's see here.
There's a lot of them. I haven't looked at all these yet.
Corey Connors over Zalatoris as a plus 125.
Missed the cut this weekend. What a freaking loser!
Yeah,
he was supposed to
this. Maybe this is the week that Zalatoris, if it's going to play kind of hard and just be a ball striking contest, that dude, that might be the one he can win.
I really like
no match.
I'm going to look at Rivers real quick.
Yeah, there's no matchups on FanDuel yet, which is odd, but.
Don't bet Scotty over Rahm on there because it's minus juiced more on Rivers. So be careful when you're betting matchups. You can always shop those too.
You need to bet it on DraftKings.
Right. I'm telling you, like if you're going
Yeah.
big guy versus big guy, look at other places because they might have them juiced a little different.
Let's see here. JT minus 106 against Rory. That's another one you'd have to sweat your balls off on, but I definitely like JT more.
Cam Smith is an underdog to Jordan Spieth. I get the Jordan Spieth
No,
thing, like I said, but
Spieth scares the shit out of me this week. DJ's underdog to Vic. Obviously, Vic is like close to in the category of like I might just be so fucking good from the tee to the green,
right?
Doesn't kill me. Like he might finish 10th, and he's like, oh my god, if he just could chip, he would have won.
If I was a DraftKings player, I'd be playing Victor this weekend.
Because he's not going to be super high owned,
right?
And he's like reliable as shit.
Victor Hovland is awesome. Like he's so good, it's crazy, and he hits it far as hell and hits greens like crazy. So just this whole like, I get it, his chipping numbers aren't that good, but like when things get really hard and it's hard to score, you need guys who can make birdies and make par. He can make birdies and he can make pars. So it's like, I don't know. I wouldn't go away from him too much. I'd be maybe even think about betting him to win. I probably won't, but if his number got pushed back a little bit.
Mito over Varner. I might be Harold Varner's least biggest fan. I think he's just a fraud. Like he's just such a fraud.
The shit out of us like multiple times though. In the
past, like the players third at RBC. I just don't think he's like he's not a major player. He's like the chokey of all. He just chokes every time. Like I don't
know. Xander as a dog over Cantlay is an interesting one. I think we've kind of picked out the ones we like. A lot of these are, I don't know. Some of these are bad players. Sam. All right,
let's have a quick Tiger discussion. What are your expectations for Tiger this week?
Less than the Masters.
I think he finished like 47th at the Masters. But
I think the course is going to demand a little more out of him this week. Physically, I'm saying.
Yeah. The Masters is going to be tougher on his body than this. Way more hills. Way bigger hills. Mm. This won't be as brutal on his body, I don't think. I actually think that if his body is better than it was at the Masters, like he says it is. It doesn't look great. Like the videos of him walking around, it kind of looks like he's limping like a mother. But I think this course sets up perfect for him. He'll just go out there and hit a bunch of 3-woods and irons off the tee and just iron play the shit out of it. He's one of the best chippers and putters in the history of the world. Now, if he putts like he did the last 2 days at Augusta, he doesn't have a chance. And this field is deeper than Augusta by a lot.
Yeah.
So, if he doesn't have it, he's going to miss the cut. But I'm going to bet him to make the cut. I think that.
What's that number? Is it plus?
I saw boosted on somewhere. Whoever the Barstool guys have, it's like minus 105.
Because I assume the books got murdered on the Masters thing because they were offering that like plus one something, and like everybody and their mom bet that. So
this guy right here. I'm about to find it, maybe. No, maybe not.
No, I can't find it.
So it's minus 118 on FanDuel right now.
Okay.
I would bet that still. He's in the same range as Min Woo Lee and Cam Davis. That's Tiger fucking Woods you're talking about. Like, that dude is the best iron player who has ever walked this earth. Maybe the best iron player who ever will walk this earth.
He's won here. Conditions are hard. Makes sense. I don't know.
The thing I like is, like, he could probably shoot even the first 2 days and he's going to make the cut.
I'm worried about him not being able to, like, play around the greens as much.
I'm not remotely worried about that. His chipping was very, very good at Augusta. His putter was horrible on Saturday and Sunday, but that might have been a fatigue thing.
Right.
So for me, it's a make the cut bet. I don't
It's going
think
to
I'll make
be
like a top
1,000
40 or top 20.
degrees.
It's good for him. He loves the heat, and it's way better on his body. It's way easier on his body to stay loose if it's hot as fuck.
Yeah, I don't think he's contending, but
I don't either. I don't think he
Make
has
the
the
cut.
stamina to contend.
probably makes sense. Probably makes sense to make the
I
cut.
don't think he has the reps or the stamina to like really contend, but I do think he can just
Did
ball
you
strike
see
his
his
way
group?
into. Yeah, that group's unbelievable. That'd be hard to watch, hard to do work on Thursday.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah. So, all right. We've touched on a lot. Specials? Any specials?
Oh, I'm staying with the margins. The margins are in fuego right now. +1 or 1-stroke winner, 2-stroke winner, 250, 350. Keep betting them with me because all those times last year when we were thinking like, damn, Grant's getting screwed right now on margin. There's 1,000 playoffs, right? Guess what? They're all coming back. It's been great. We're going to keep on playing it. +1, +2, or 1-stroke, 2-stroke.
Yeah, just keep riding it. It's been good. I think the only thing that scares me here is if it's low scoring, that sometimes leads to one guy blowing everybody out. Like if one of the top guys like really brings it, they could potentially blow him out, but I don't really necessarily know that that's going to happen. So
it's just more so of like this is just what happens, and there's so many good players in the field that you just hope that a couple of people play well enough, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
We've seen some tournaments here recently, actually. What was that one where the guys in first and second were way above everybody, but we still won the margin. I can't remember what tournament that was. It was like 2 weeks ago, but maybe it was one that Homa won.
The Zurich, the team event.
No, it wasn't the team event. Now I can't remember. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Either way,
the
guy from third to first was a huge margin, but we still won because just another good player played well. So it's like you just kind of hope that happens in a big event like this. Kind of like the Bryson thing when he won with Matt Wolff, right? He was way out ahead, and Wolff just kind of caught up with him, and that's all we needed. We just need that one guy to kind of do it. So there's
if there's a Bryson matchup, and they're not going to give it to you until he commits to playing. If they lay a Bryson matchup, and it is anybody who has a pulse, bet the shit out of that. He cannot chip here. He doesn't have the reps. Like he's barely practiced. He literally started hitting balls for the first time in 5 weeks. Like
he's going to WD also.
Well, maybe he WDs, but even if he plays, he doesn't have a fucking chance.
No.
Like, how far down the board? Who would you take? Who was the last person you would take against him?
I think I would honestly take anyone. I think because he'll play bad and he'll quit. I think he'll WD.
Yeah. So like.
The player can get last, and you'll still win. The player can get last place.
Yeah, I mean, I would take like Honor Bond here. He's 300 to 1. I would take Bond over him
easily, 100%. They should offer a Tiger one.
That would get bet a lot. That would be dangerous. That would be dangerous to them. So FanDuel is offering a wire to wire winner, plus 850. There was this weird stat on Golf Channel last night. There was this weird Golf Channel thing last night that in the 8 times that a major's been here, 6 have been wire to wire, and the other 2 guys were leading, like were in the top 2 after round 1. So it's like, I'm not going to bet it because that's stupid, but like you're going to know. It seems like this course, like it shows you who it is right away. Like you're going to know whoever's in the top 10 after round 1. It's probably who's going to win. Maybe even the top 5.
Yeah,
so maybe there's a live option, but if it's one of the good guys, it's not going to be a live option.
Probably. Yeah, unfortunately, that's going to go the opposite way, where now you have the live options are only the bad options. But yeah, if your guy's up there, you should feel confident at least.
Yeah. One and done.
I haven't
talked about this a little last night.
I haven't decided yet.
I'm going to take JT, but I'm debating Scheffler up until the very last minute. I have a shitload of really good players left, which thank God I am in like last, so I should have a lot of good players left.
I haven't used Scheffler yet either.
So Scheffler and JT and Cam Smith I kind of considered. Even I kind of considered Spieth based on his form. Like how many times is Spieth going to go first, second, the 2 events leading up to like a big money event. But I love JT this weekend. If I'm going to ride him, I'm going to ride him.
Yeah, my 2 people I have written down are Spieth and Scheffler, so I'm actually kind of with you there. I've already used Rahm and Lowry. Those are the 2 guys I would have kind of considered. Obviously, I already used JT for the player, or I used him for the Masters. Who would be another one? I'm going to save Colin. I might use Scheffler just because the same exact theory I gave last time, where it's like he's playing so well. Is he going to keep playing this well? So you might as well just use him while he's on fire, and let's just see what happens. Also, and I know we've already hit him, but Scheffler hits it far, hits it on the green, and his short game is unbelievable. Like he has everything that
I know
at this course.
Like he could.
It's crazy.
He should be the favorite.
He's the one. Yeah, he should be.
He should be the favorite. Like that dude is amazing. He's playing amazing. He showed up last week and was like, oh, he finished 19th. Like he still played awesome. He shot like 20 under. So
yeah, not at all.
All right, that's enough about that. Me and you had a 5-minute discussion before this started about the NBA draft lottery because we both bet Shaden Sharp at 200-1. And who did we both agree that was probably our best option to get the number 1 pick to give us a chance to win that bet?
The Orlando
fucking Magic.
They got it.
All those 6'10 guys, they're loaded with 6'10 guys. They don't need one. You know who they need? A 6'6 wing who's like an unbelievable athlete, shooter, passer, dribbler. That's who they need. So I think Shaden Sharp is officially in play.
Yeah, 100%. They got Franz, Isaac. That's really about it. But
also, I keep seeing people tweeting. I keep seeing people like saying Jaden Ivey. I get that he's like a top 4 guy, but if you take Jaden Ivey or Shaden Sharp and you're not like a win now team, you're fucking high on drugs.
You're an idiot. Yeah.
I'm not a Jaden Ivey guy. Really, I think he's going to be a decent player, but Shaden Sharp might be Paul George.
He looks
Jaden Ivey's probably going to be like good player. Like he's not a good shooter.
Jump. He's smooth. He's young as balls, which is nice. Like you can kind of.
I wonder if the odds have changed for who's the number 1 pick. I may not have them up.
They're probably currently locked, but I can look.
Shaden Sharp's 50-1.
Jabari's number is minus. Why would they? What are they going to do with? They're going to play Jabari, Franz, and Isaac together.
Well, and Wendell Carter was just like fantastic this year.
We should be betting on those people. We should be betting Paulo at 5, and we should be betting. We should put more money on Sharp at 50. They should give us a chance.
They trade it. Like if they're just like, I don't know, I don't really want any of these 6'10 guys. I'll just trade down to 4.
Well, who would maybe come up? The Thunder.
So 2 is the Thunder. I think they'll just stay there and just take whoever.
Unless they think,
unless the guy they absolutely love, unless they love Chet or somebody and they think they're going to go 1. The Rockets are 3rd. That's not a Shaden Sharp team. That's probably a big team. They're probably not.
Yeah, them not getting the first pick is kind of what we needed, so that's good. I'm trying to think.
The Kings were the only team to jump up into the top 4 that weren't already in there to start. They got the 4th pick. You can't predict what they want, but they could use Shaden Sharp pretty badly. Like
a team like the Pacers could like maybe be interested in the first pick. It's kind of all dependent on what your scouts think of these guys, obviously. And if you're in a scout or you're a GM and you think Sharp is the best player, but nobody's picking him number 1, right? And it's like, well,
you're not going to trade up to 1,
right? You're not trading up, so it's kind of a weird thing. But
it might be kind of like the Boston Philly Markelle Fultz thing, where it's like the Celtics are like, yeah, we think Tatum's the best, but they're not going to pick him 1, 2, so we'll just bob down to 3.
Chet is 150 for play. I don't think. Why would you play Jabari and those other guys together? That doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you play those guys and Chet together? That also
they would have to think that they're like way better than those guys, and I'm not.
Yeah, really unless they just think that guy's so much more talented, I guess. Yeah.
All right.
Franz was good. Wendell was good. Jonathan Isaac was all defense, right, when he was healthy. And you have your top 5 point guard from the previous year, and then you can add a guy who's Paul George-esque. I mean, come on. What are you doing?
6'7", 6'8" wing kid who's like really, really talented. Let's see it. I think he has a super high ceiling that I think will show up in workouts. So
we're also very biased because we haven't met 200 to 1. So like
we're biased because we met 200 to 1, but like the grains of salt are there. I think that there's a chance. So
the Pistons have the 5th pick. That'll be interesting to see who they could try to slide in.
They could trade Sharp a bit. Somebody just score like a mother off the gate. Or they need to. They can. They're an Ivy team, I would guess. The point guard, but they need like a scoring guard, defender guy. All right, that's it. We'll have our super fun tournament. Some interesting out, which will be fun, and I think the course is going to flex its muscles a bit. I think we're going to see the 7, 8, maybe 9 under if the wind gets blowing or does the wind really blows, maybe even less. So.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun because I think we'll have elite guys at the top, and that's kind of what we ask for in these events. So I think the setup's going to be perfect for that. And I think I'm going to probably use Scheffler one and done. So let's get a little Scheffler, maybe some Cam Smith magic. JT will definitely be in the hunt and then lose, but that's just part of it. Good luck.
That's the lifestyle. I've been there, done. So, all right. See you next week.
Bye.